James Martinez. How are you feeling today?
Muchas gracias. I'm feeling very good, actually. I'm so happy to be here, and it's just been a little crazy lately, so in a good way.
In a great way,
In a
I can
great
imagine.
way. Yeah, just meeting a lot of good people, a lot of interesting artists, and a lot of fans. And it's a
The
good
fandom grew?
It definitely grew with this one for sure. I've been kind of just working behind the scenes, but this particular project definitely.
And which project are we talking
We're
about?
okay. We'll talk about it. This is Dexter, Original Sin.
And that's where I found you.
And that is where you found me. Is that where you found me?
That's where I found
That's where
you.
you found me. Okay.
And
yeah.
from the moment you walked on screen, I was like, listen, if you're a Dexter fan, you know exactly who we're talking about.
Yeah.
The young Batista.
Mm-hmm. I mean, most of the time you do a job and you don't know how it's going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dexter fan base is
It's
pretty
a
serious.
universe.
It's huge.
We're crazy.
It's huge. Yeah. And it hit really real to me once this show came out. Like,
What changed? When were you like, what is going on right now?
Well, I mean, I knew how big Dexter was.
Were you a Dexter fan?
I was a Dexter fan.
Okay.
I watched it when it came out in 2006. I saw all 8 seasons.
Oh, you're an
So
OG Dexter
I was
fan.
definitely a Dexter fan, and I was also am still friends with David Zayas,
Okay.
who played the OG Batista.
Did he pick you?
No, no.
He's like, no, I ain't get put on.
Actors have very little say in casting, but knowing him definitely helped a lot. Just because I know how he is, his energy, his heart, even physically. I just was familiar with him as a person, so it helped me a lot to kind of tackle this role of Angel Batista. But the fans, like I was saying, sometimes you do a show and you hope it hits, and sometimes it blows up, sometimes it goes nowhere. But with this, it already had a built-in fan base, so we knew a lot of people were going to be watching and comparing, so the pressure was on for sure.
And you delivered. I got to tell you this much. Shout out to everybody. Christina Milian,
Yeah.
everybody did amazing. It's a great casting, but you were the casting for me.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
When you walked on screen, I said, wait, hold on. I was like, is this the original? I was like, did they make him look young? Like, what
Yeah.
happened here?
I've gotten a lot of that. Like, they thought it was AI at first, like
That's what I
AI,
thought. I was
AI
like,
de-aging type thing, and I took it as a huge compliment. But I wasn't so sure about myself when I first started.
Really?
No, not really. I mean, when I walked in, you said it yourself. Is this the guy? I mean,
oh yeah. Listen, behind the scenes, when he walked into the studio, I looked him up and down like in a weird way that I've never
I saw
done.
that.
Because I'm like, wait, I don't think they brought me the right guy.
Yeah, it's me. And
Still very handsome,
yeah,
but
thank you.
definitely not the Batista that we saw on screen.
And that's what I thought when they were seeing me for this role. I was like, I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I don't look anything like this guy. I don't sound like him. And I just didn't feel sure about it. But once I got to work, it came together nice.
How did the transformation happen? Physically, what did they have to do to you?
Well, first of all, it was up to me,
Okay.
because the wardrobe and the makeup alone isn't gonna do it. Like, I have to own the fedora and the jewelry and the guayabera and the whole look. You have to.
Did they dye your hair?
No, they
Really?
didn't.
That was all you?
That was all me. No, I just studied him for about a month. I was just obsessed with the character of Angel, like every little head shake, every little the walk, the bop, the voice cadence, which is another thing about Angel that's very specific, just kind of where he places his voice, like up here.
Nah, you nailed
Yeah.
it. I'll tell you that, man. But I was like, being typical New Yorker me, I was like, well, he kind of cheated because he had, 8 seasons to study from?
Yeah, I mean, I did
You did
have
your
an
homework.
advantage. I did my homework, yeah, for sure. And like I said, knowing David was a big advantage too.
I love doing this show.
Yeah.
And from what's crazy is, like, from the moment I saw you, I said, the way this actor is owning this role, it's not normal. To me, it's not.
Yeah, thank you. And throughout my whole career, I have always.
Because even young Dexter, I was like, it's all right. It's all
Yeah.
right. Batista's my guy. I'd be like, I haven't seen him in an episode. I used to get mad when you wouldn't pop up.
The energy. I didn't want it to be an imitation either. That was the other.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
thing,
It felt good.
I wanted to embody him and make him. Because you can go to a comedy club and see, that guy did a good impression. But when you're actually embodying this guy and trying to make people believe that you are him, it goes deeper.
Yeah, because an imitation would be like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
He's trying too
Corny.
hard.
Yeah.
It just felt real. I was like, I even Googled, like, if you were his son.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe that's his son.
Yeah, yeah. He has a son, and I bet his son actually played his double in the OG Dexter.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. But his son is actually a theater director. He's very busy. I'm not sure if he's into acting or
Everybody
not.
in theater. Everybody in theater. And you talk about impersonating, and that's how you started? You were a comedian?
Yeah.
And you used to do impersonation?
I
get a fact sheet, and they were just like, "Oh, he used to be a comedian."
When
and
when I was 16 years old, I
you was a baby.
Open mic, but I did it for about 4 years, and I was bouncing around all over New York. I guess the biggest comedy club was Caroline's, where actually
It'll forever be the biggest comedy club we had.
And that was where I kind of started like really honing in on my craft, I guess. But I'm not a stand-up comedian, but I knew
But you did it when you were a teen?
I was a good mimic, right? So they were like, "Oh, you do impressions. You should go and do comedy." But
who were your impressions at that point? You don't have to do one if you don't want to, but who were your impressions at that point?
I mean, it was like at the time, we're talking like mid '90s, so I would do like scenarios where Sylvester Stallone would meet Al Pacino.
Really?
Yeah, or Jim Carrey, or Michael Jackson, Michael Keaton from Batman. And I would go up and I would say, "Oh, what would happen if these two celebrities would meet?" And I'd put them in a funny scenario.
And you would be both characters?
And I would be both characters.
That's talent.
Yeah, and I would dress up and do it like that. Yeah. But eventually, the acting thing kind of.
But hold on.
Yeah.
How did a 16-year-old end up in comedy clubs in New York City? I need the backstory on this. Listen, you can't just brush through that, James.
That's a good question.
¿Y mami?
Mi mamá.
Sí. ¿A dónde está?
Mi mamá en Jackson Heights.
Okay, so ella sabía que tú te ibas.
En la casa sí, ella sabía todo.
Tú le decías, voy a buscar trabajo. ¿Qué tú le decías a tu mamá a los 16 años?
Pues, mamá, me gusta hacer show, me gusta hacer. Yo quiero hacer como yo no sé, un actor, un comediante, un cantante, un bailarín. No sabía. I was doing
show
it all.
Business.
Show business. I knew I was like, I wanted to entertain.
And she was with it?
And yeah, in fact, Qué
chulo.
Yeah, she was happy that my heart was in anything, that I had some direction. She was just relieved that I was passionate about something. So she went and found me like a flyer. Mira, hay una clase de actuación aquí.
Ay, qué chula tu mamá.
You should go check it out. And I would go, and I was like just bouncing around Jersey, Queens, Long Island, looking for affordable acting classes and like that.
Now, I saw like one of your first credits was in 1995, Guiding Light. Am I right?
That was I think that date is off. That was my first job.
Okay, what date was that? Because I'm like,
that was 2002.
Okay,
that's when I graduated Juilliard. And
Juilliard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you
who I went to? I went with Jennifer Carpenter was in my class, who played Deb in the original Dexter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anthony Mackie, Oscar Isaac. Adam
How was the
Drucker.
process of getting into Juilliard?
A lot of great
Who
guys.
told you apply to Juilliard, or how did you?
My teacher.
Okay,
Yes.
It's always a teacher.
It's always the teacher, and I hear this story a lot. And
it is.
I think
so many people have
sat
sat here.
It's good to emphasize the importance of teachers and them kind of seeing something in you and saying, "Hey, yeah, go for it."
Teacher in Jackson Heights?
Yeah, Forest Hills High School. Yeah, my zone high school was Newtown.
Okay.
But I ended up in Forest Hills, and we had a good English department there and a drama department, and they saw potential in me, and they helped me prepare for my audition for Juilliard.
And you feel like that changed the course of your life?
It really, really did, because it solidified everything, and it validated me and gave me the confidence to say,
once you have the degree, they can't deny you.
And that was the beginning. I owe him a lot.
What's his name?
Larry O'Connell, my English teacher at Forest Hills High School.
Is he still alive?
Shout out to him. Oh yeah, still in
So
Forest
he got
Hills.
to see all of your acting?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so dope.
Super supportive.
Breaking Bad. I saw you. Giancarlo Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
How was it working with such an icon, legend?
Yeah. I mean, we grew up with Spike Lee and watching him, and he has so many stories. And
I love him.
When you're in that situation, especially when you're trying to come up, you try to just observe, be quiet, and listen.
How did you feel on that
Which is
set?
what I did, and because I was very nervous.
I would be too.
But I knew who he was, and thankfully, this is what makes all the difference when you walk onto a set, is when you work with actors that are generous and start out on the same playing field. There's no hierarchy. They don't act like they're better than you. Or
I'll be in my
anything like
trailer.
that. He's a humble man, and he's a genius in my opinion.
He is.
And we got to work, and we were just on the same playing field, like I said, and he's super welcoming. And once we got to work, we flowed, and I was very happy with the way that scene turned out, and it turned out to be a big scene in TV history that people still talk about.
No, it is. I'm a Breaking Bad fan. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
and
that.
it opened up a lot of doors for me, for sure.
Really? That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Love Victor. 28 episodes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that show.
Yeah.
How did you end up on this?
Well, this was a spin-off on a film on Netflix called Love, Simon.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and it did really well. And I think they did a smart thing by kind of doing a different take on it with a different culture, with the Latino family, which is a very interesting take, because how would a Latino family react if one of their kids comes out? And this is a problem that.
And the vibe is completely different in una casa latina.
It's culturally, it's night and day. So they had a lot to tackle there. But the fans for that show, I didn't realize how important the show was once it came out. I mean, I've been literally getting DMs from kids talking about like it saved their lives.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, like a thank you.
That's the type of work that makes a difference.
Yes.
Psychologically, emotionally.
Right.
And
it kind of goes beyond entertainment.
No, it does. I'm not even thinking entertainment at this point. It's just like, you're connecting with people and you're giving a voice to, kids that feel invisible in their home, in their community.
It was a super important show and the kind of stuff I wanted to be doing. So I'm also very grateful to Hulu and Disney for putting that out there.
I love that you did that show.
Yeah.
Now, Queen of the South.
Uh-oh.
I saw you.
Yeah.
Hemke Madera is one of my favorites. He's got to make it to this building. How was it working on that set?
We became really good friends.
Really?
Actually,
he's just so dope, right?
He's so cool, and we met each other actually just in audition rooms, just kind of hustling in LA.
Does he feel
doors.
intimidating in person?
No, not at
He
is a teddy bear.
His character is just like in Queen of the South. It's just like it feels so like scary.
Yeah, but he's nothing like that. He's just a really great actor, and we had a lot in common artistically. We just wanted to do different stuff and kind of really stretch ourselves and play characters very different from us. And very sweet guy, Dominicano.
Claro que sí. Mi favorito, mi paisano.
Yeah, and we got to hang out in Mexico City for a couple months, and we got along great.
Just a couple months?
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of time together,
That's dope.
Yeah. So.
How does it work? You're married and a dad.
Mm-hmm.
One son?
One son, yeah. He's about to turn 5.
How does it work?
Yeah.
Do you bring your family with you when you're going away for a couple of months? Or do they stay here in New York?
Well, he just turned 5, so he just started real school.
Okay, so se acabó eso.
Yeah, se acabó. I would take him everywhere. He was a jet setter. Everywhere I go, him and mom would come with me, and yeah, he's seen a lot of different cities and been on set, and it was exciting. But now it's time to figure out time management.
Ahora se tiene que quedar en la casa para ir a la escuela, right?
Casa, and I'm starting to explain to him what I'm doing.
You're like, papito, tengo que ir a trabajar. Sorry.
Sometimes he'll see me on the screen. He's like, Papa's on TV.
Oh, really? That's so dope.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's starting to put it together. At first, it was a little hard, but we're getting there. I miss him a lot. It's hard, but, it's a sacrifice that we got to do.
How does your wife feel?
She is, she is not in the business at all.
Uh-huh.
She's just very curious and learning a lot about it, and she tells me I can't see TV, I can't watch a movie the same way anymore after living with you and being with you. She's very interested in the business, and she comes with me to all the events.
Claro que sí, yo no me quedo en la casa, ¿no?
Everything, yeah.
Carpeta roja, ¿qué me pongo?
But she keeps my feet on the ground.
Oh, claro que sí.
For sure, and doesn't let any of this.
When you're home,
get to
she's
my
like,
head.
mire.
Yeah.
Saque la basura, por favor.
Yeah, exactly. It's no big deal to her anymore. So she keeps my feet on the ground for sure. Very grateful.
Mets fan, I saw.
Oh my God.
We got beef, bro. And I saw you said Mets fan for life. I said.
I mean, I grew up in Jackson Heights.
I feel you. I feel you.
I mean, I literally have pictures of me and my dad in the 80s when we were doing great. I was on his lap in Shea Stadium, back when it was Shea. So this is more than a team for me. This is my childhood, my life.
It's your culture.
My
you love
culture,
it. I'm just joking. I'm just teasing.
Oh no, I know.
You know us New Yorkers.
New York is New York. At the end of the day.
It's the whole thing. Yankee versus Mets fans.
Yeah.
I saw that we are getting a Dexter resurrection,
Mm-hmm.
June 2025. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that
Now,
too.
what about Original Sin? Are we getting another
Oh well, I mean, nothing official yet.
one?
A lot of things in this business are about timing, so they're probably waiting for the right time to make the announcement. I don't know. I don't. What goes on behind the scenes is a mystery, but it's not official yet. But we did break records with amounts of streams.
I can imagine.
You
I feel like
know,
everybody I know is
mean,
watching it.
Yeah, and the reviews have been great. I mean, on paper, it looks like it's in the bag. So I'm pretty sure it's coming back. But don't take my word for it. But I do think we are. It looks good. And
Con Dios por delante.
con Dios por delante, lo que Dios quiera, así como dice mi mamá.
I love it. Now, your family. Who else? Mom?
Yeah, mom.
Sisters? Brothers?
No. Oh yes, I have a brother. He's FDNY.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for serving, brother.
He's my little brother, and I'm very proud of him. And my dad's no longer with us.
I saw that your dad
Yeah,
passed.
yeah. But my mom's been holding it down, and
Claro que sí, mujer latina al fin.
yeah, exactly.
Because your father passed away a very long time ago, right?
Yeah, in the early '90s.
So mom had to finish
right.
everything on her own.
My mom had a couple of thrift stores, a toy store
In Queens.
in Queens.
I love it. Una negociante ella.
Yeah, and she invested in some medallions. So you have 2 yellow cabs.
Oh, no, but mami tiene dinero.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, the amazing thing is that she was a housewife. She was not a businesswoman, but she did what she had to do, and just took the reins. And
When your father passed, then she flipped it. Like she was like, I got to get out there.
yeah, I got to get out there, and she asked around, and basically she was selling the clothes that rich people threw away. Basically, that's what we did. She knew about a factory. She found out a place where she can get clothes for cheap, but the clothes were good.
Claro,
It was
se
just,
puso pa lo de ella.
yeah.
She's like,
So it was a
listen,
great investment. So she opened up 2 stores in Corona, Queens.
que chulo.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then my uncle had a taxi base and hooked her up. And yeah, before I knew it, she was balancing the stores, the cabs, and
Listen,
making
I'm
it
more proud of
happen.
your mom than I am of you right now.
Yeah,
Bring
you
mom
should
here,
be.
because I
You
want to
should
know
be.
how she flipped the game like
You
that.
should be.
Because
should be.
it's hard. A veces uno es esposa, mamá, y de repente tiene que ser negociante. Like
Yeah.
tengo que abrir una tienda, and especially like if you're an immigrant and you come to this country, you're not afforded the same luxuries as, let's say, a white woman.
Yeah,
If she wanted to open up a business, so it's twice as hard for us.
it was very, very
So
hard.
for her to have done it, succeeded, and raised 2 boys,
2 boys. Yeah.
kudos to mom.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, and the community loved her. They loved her store, and they were always there and very loyal to her because also she had a good heart, and she was running a business, but also she made sure to take care of her people. So
Es que mira, no hay cosa más dulce y más sabrosa que una mujer colombiana.
sí, es verdad, and I think many people will vouch for that. Yeah, but she was like the neighborhood's mom, and people loved her very much, and the business did well. I owe her so much, and it's just my mother is.
But you wouldn't be here without her.
I wouldn't, and I don't want to leave her. I'm like, it was hard to move out when I did, because, and also, being the older brother.
Do you live close to her?
Yeah.
So if she wants to see your son, she can see him at any time?
I moved to Long Island, went to the burbs.
Claro que sí.
Because it's
Hay que comprar una
more
casa, right?
kid-friendly and everything, and yeah.
Esos taxes, though, good luck to
Yeah,
you.
thank you. You know what's up.
I'm messing with that.
No, but we got a good deal though.
God bless.
Because it was during the pandemic. And
Oh, you got 2%
it was
interest
like,
rate.
Oh my God, how'd you know?
Listen, I am very in tune with
Am I
every.
broken?
Listen, I'm in tune with. I know people that bought houses during 2020, and they're like, "I will never sell this house because of the mortgage."
Yeah.
They're like, "It's a free house, pretty
Right.
much."
No,
But
it timed out. It was like divine because, Nicole, my wife said,
Mhm.
babe, I'm pregnant. And then
ooh,
it was, we've been together for 10 years. And we were one of those, we love to travel, party, all those
Carefree.
things. Carefree. We were one of those.
we're living our life.
Like we're living our life. And then so when that happened, it was like everything flipped. But then the very next day,
Mhm.
I got the news that I had booked La Victor. And I was like, this is amazing. Like,
And you were like, "Okay, it's gonna work
yeah,
out."
Okay, it's working out. It's working out. I mean, look, when you're in this business, you're always living on the edge. You just gotta keep going, and so far it's working out.
I want you to know we're super proud of you. Thanks for bringing that character to life, and thanks for giving us visibility, and playing the roles that make us look so good. Because the main reason I love Dexter is because there's so many Latino badasses. Not only just because it's based in Miami and Miami belongs to us, but it's just, Lauren Velez. Immediately I connected with her character. I'm like, she's a badass. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope show, and I love the way we are represented. We have our one-offs here and there, but
of course,
the main characters, and the fact that the main characters do speak the language and sound good speaking, it's my show and I went into it, just Dexter. I didn't go into it knowing it was going to be so Latin-based, and then after that, I was like, everybody has to watch this. Everybody has to support this. It's pretty much for us. Shout out Dexter. I love you. Main character,
right?
But all the smaller characters in the music,
right?
Everything is just mío, me pertenece.
I felt the same way. I felt the same, and that's why it was extra special to be cast in this role in this franchise, because I was like, okay, now I have some control, some power to represent and do it justice.
And you did, and for that we thank you.
That means the world. Thank you.
That's the main reason I wanted to sit down with you, because I was like, yo, this right here is dope. And I watch a lot of shows and I watch a lot of series. When I saw your character, I said, this guy knows his shit.
Yeah. And this is the kind of work that I'm working towards doing more of, and just pushing those boundaries and seeing how beautifully colored and complicated our culture is. There's Latinos is... We haven't even scratched the surface.
Para nada.
We're talking so many countries, so many ways of speaking the language, so many types of food, so many types of dances, so many belief systems and cultures. It's just the possibilities are endless. So there's so much more to do, and I'm looking forward to exploring that, and also helping create work that pushes that.
Are you working on anything right now that you can share with us?
Well,
What do you have in mind?
Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned Luna Velez, because we've been collaborating to produce a play about freestyle music, and
I'm there already.
Yes, so it's a love story, and the whole story. The backdrop of the story is freestyle music. So it starts with a couple in the Bronx that meets in the late 80s, and you kind of see them age, and kind of when freestyle music kind of lasted about 10 years. So once that genre played itself out and less people were listening to it, it kind of affects their love life. So because
that's what bonded them?
That's what bonded them. And then
I'm already invested.
And then like 20 years later, there's a freestyle concert at Radio City Music Hall, and they end up running into each other and reconnecting. And it's a beautiful story where they kind of reminisce and wonder what they would have done differently, and a lot of culturally what was going on for Latinos in the 80s in New York, with HIV and how their families were affected. It's just and so we've been workshopping the play, and it's only a 2-person play. It's just the guy and the girl.
Oh,
yeah.
You're the guy?
Well, that's the thing. They're rotating. So the idea is that they would rotate actors weekly.
Okay.
So we got David Zayas involved, John Leguizamo.
Oh.
And we got a couple of different people. I think Freddie Rodriguez also, and we would basically take turns playing the roles and see everyone's different take on the story.
I'm sold.
But Judy Torres is involved, TKA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's been in development for a while.
Judy works here, actually.
Yeah, I heard. So she's the narrator.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I know, but this is far along.
This
is going to happen.
It's getting there. We're getting it in front of some good eyes.
You're going to have to come back then.
Hopefully I'll be back here talking about a production of Freestyle, and you could see the account on Instagram if you want to just
I'm going to go
keep
stalk.
Updated on where we're at with it. But
definitely, because,
I think it has a good future.
I love David, John Leguizamo, Judy, and now you. So I'm definitely invested, and I want to make sure that, any which way we can support it.
Right.
Bring awareness, bring people. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen here in New York, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is a love letter to New York.
Let's make it happen. 2025. Let's make it happen.
That's going to be the next step.
We're manifesting right now. We're manifesting.
Let's
okay?
manifest all together. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me today, James. You've actually been amazing. I want to thank you for the work you're doing and for the way that you're representing us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. We got pretty deep today. I didn't realize, but I appreciate it because I'm getting a little emotional just talking about the journey. You know, you're so caught up in the
present,
in the present, and just trying to do what you got to do. But looking back at the story has made me realize it's really special what we're doing, and I appreciate you making me open up like that. Thank you.
Gracias. Come again.
Will do.